Hey everybody, it's Corey from the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast again, and today, well, you can see my workbench is a complete mess and that you can't see my face, and that's because the thing that I'm working on today is Ninja Force, Ninja Force Nacho Libre, T apostrophe J Bang. That's like his street name? T apostrophe J Bang. Bang. I don't know. Hasbro stuck a bunch of letters together that don't generally end up next to each other in the English language, and I don't know, the kind of stuff if my mother was dead, she'd be rolling over in her grave, but she's not, and I'm not going to tell her. So, these guys don't have a screw in the back, which means that you can't take them apart to replace the O-ring when it breaks. And you can see that this guy has his gentleman sausage is no longer with us, and he has definitely seen better days. He spent a bit too much time in the tanning bed. Anyway, so I'm going to take him apart and I'm going to show you what's on the inside, and I'm going to show you how to replace his O-ring. I did another video recently about changing the O-rings in Zartan and his siblings, and how people overthink it, and you don't need to boil it, you don't need to do the X-Acto knife thing, you just need to pop them open with a pair of pliers, and that is not possible with this because this waist is set. It's not your typical held together by the O-ring style figure. So in this case, you do need to soften the glue. Boiling water to soften it. With this particular figure, it is a beater, and it's a total beater, and so I already pried him open. I already popped him loose to open him to show you like what's going on. So there's only a couple tools you need. First, you need a blade. I have chosen this one because it's got rust on it and I have never had tetanus. And then you need a 45-degree pick. Alternatively, something that has like a J-hook on the end of it would work probably better, but this is what I have on my bench. So without further ado, once you've softened it up, you know, basically start wherever you feel most comfortable. But this guy, like I said, I've already pried him open. You want to take the back off first, because the spring for the action is set here in this. And hopefully the glue has the heating has softened that, and that you'll be able to get your pick or whatever into that spot. And it might be better if you try and open it this way a little bit so that you can get a little room in there to pop that out. And then there you go. So that's what the spring looks like. This is the retainer that holds the O-ring. For ease, because most likely the reason you're going to attempt this is because the O-ring is broken or really loose, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the O-ring that's there and pull this out the bottom, and there it goes. And there's the, okay, so this is the little retainer. It's not held in by anything, it just comes right out. Looks like this on this side, looks like this on the other. All rusty and shitty. This spring is all rusty and shitty because this is a very old figure and a very well loved figure. So if your spring comes out all rusty and shitty like that, you can soak it in some white vinegar overnight and then give it a good rinse and a good dry, and that rust will all be gone. So that's how it comes apart. The new O-ring is pretty simple to put in. It takes a little bit of finesse. You can get this pick through here. The hole's pretty good size. You can get that through there without worrying too much about the whole about snapping off his peen. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I grabbed 2 O-rings. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna push it through here. I'm gonna take my pick and I'm gonna put it in this way, and I'm gonna try and finesse that up in there a little bit. Whoops. Okay. I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. All right. So I got it in there. I got it hooked. I pushed the O-ring in first, apparently, and got it hooked. And now I'm going to stick this guy down the hole, and we're just gonna tug and bring it up through. Hey, there you go. All right. So there it is. And shit, I probably should have put the spring on first, but that's okay. Once it's in, it's going to stay up there. Once it's in, it's going to stay up there where you can access it. So, you can see there's this channel here where the retainer goes, and then this little cutout here where the spring goes, and you just put that on there, and then stick this, grab a hold of it with your O-ring, with your pick, and this part's not too bad. You just got to stretch it, and this is where you have to kind of be a little more delicate so that you don't break his dick off. Sorry, did I say dick? There might be children watching. Sorry, you need to be careful that you don't break his cock off. Is that better? And I'm sucking at this. Don't worry, my first attempt at this video was way worse because I was trying to do it like up in the air. And hold on, let me switch hands and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we get this in here like this, and there we go. Hopefully you could see that on camera, and I'm not too shit at this. Anyway, yeah, so there, that O-ring is in. And that is changed, and now comes the fun part of reassembling this guy, and this is where my handy little jig comes in. Go away, Cobra Commanders and Beachhead and Flint and you and you. And I showed you guys this in another video too. This is the thing that I use to change O-rings. So I'm going to start off by sticking this guy in here, and we're going to insert the tip of, just the tip of the spring into there, okay? And because I have this fancy little machine, I'm going to lay him in there, and I'm going to turn my camera down so it's a little more towards the table. There we go. And make sure his arms go on the right side. There's one. There's two. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to bother with glue here, but just to show you how he goes back together, in case you can't figure this out. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. That's pretty much it. You gotta wiggle his head in, and there we go. So that's a successful O-ring change. You can see that the spring is set back and his action still works. If you're into these figures, that's how you change Nacho Libre's O-ring. I'm not really into these figures, but this was a freebie, and by Kevin Frazier. God, I hope I said that right. I think I got it from Kevin Frazier. I can tell you in about 4 seconds here. Yeah, there's this dude Kevin Frazier, and I bought this beachhead and this frostbite from him recently, and because he felt super bad because it took forever to get the stuff, even though it wasn't his fault. He was waiting on a good unbroken crotch piece for Beachhead. And so he felt bad it took him so long to get the stuff to me, even though like I was expecting it to take as long as it did because he had to wait for parts to come in. He threw in as a freebie this guy and this guy, which I needed a lift ticket, and I don't know, you can see here I've already done an elbow crack repair on him, and I didn't do the best job of coloring his elbow, but from this far away it doesn't look too bad. And yeah, he was super cool and threw a couple extra figures in the box for me after already giving me a fantastic deal. So thanks, Kev. So that's yeah, that's it. If you have one of these Ninja Force figures with the action, whoops, yeah, then that's how you get them apart. That's how you change the O-ring, and then you'll have to glue them back together. I wouldn't use a ton of glue. I'd put like a little bit in the corners and maybe the posts inside. But as per usual, let's see who wants to tell you today. Let's get Wild Bill up here. Hey, here's another elbow crack I did recently. This one's a little messier, I think. Anyway, Wild Bill will tell you, "Hi y'all, as per usual." I don't remember how Wild Bill talked. I know he had kind of a yeehaw kind of Duke Boys sort of vibe going on. Yeah, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Because there's a lot of good content with the Transformers and the Motu and the Joes, and some cool unboxing stuff and all kinds of fun things. And you can check out the podcast anywhere that you get podcasts. Here's a rock and roll that I've been messing with lots of different parts that I had laying around. Oh hey, here's a fun thing. This is Storm Shadow with his stink finger. I had a Junker core figure. Oh, here he is. I had this just part, just junk, and I popped his thumb off, and I decided that my beater Storm Shadow needed a thumb, and so I grafted this thumb onto this Storm Shadow, and it worked out pretty well. I did the whole baking soda and super glue thing again because that's just sort of my MO, I guess. Anyway, Patreon, there's a lot of cool stuff there. There's wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, iTunes, that's the same thing, isn't it? Google Play, I don't know any others. You can check us out on Facebook. There's a group and a page both called Cracktastic Plastic. There's Twitter, there's Instagram at Cracktastic Plastic, and I think Twitter is at Cracktastic Pod. Check all that stuff out if you want, or just keep coming back to YouTube, because basically all we're doing is trying to get people to watch our videos because, well, look at us. That's all I got, and I hope I hope it was good for you.